Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Built Like This podcast. I'm your host, Maxine, on episode 330. Yes, it's a Friday episode. Yes, it's been a while since I've released a Friday episode on time at that. I'm trying to get better with that. I don't want to give y'all excuses, but anyway, I really love podcasting, so I'm gonna still continue with my schedule as best as I can. But if there are times when I'm late or missing an episode, just know that I know, and there will be an episode coming up. So there's just I don't like to give announcements too much, but just to kind of um face the elephant. And also, I am wearing something underneath this robe. And I'll probably take it off right now, actually, because yeah, back to my moo. I like to keep my home very cold, very, very cold. One, because it's really, really hot outside. And to have that juxtaposition is super comforting. And two, I just like the cozy feeling of being cold. It just makes me feel at ease. So that's why you see me in a robe. But now I am hot because I'm active, I'm moving, I'm talking, I'm feeling thoughts and all these things. So let's go ahead and get started with this episode. Kaylani, what's going on with Kaylani? Huh? Okay, so allegedly, she is involved in a sex cult, and that has been exposed by her child's father. Her child's father, on the surface, comes across like a homosexual. Like, I remember when the news came out that she was having a baby and she was standing next to her child's father. It was evident, for me at least, and I'm sure a lot of other people, that this was some type of an arranged situation here. Like, hey, I really want a baby, and hey, you're my best friend, and hey, you want to just have you want to have a baby. Maybe they did the deed, but nonetheless, it did not give the impression that he is this heterosexual man and they were in a relationship and oopsie daisy baby. And these things happen, right? A lot of people, especially if you get to a certain point in your life and you realize, hey, I do want to experience motherhood, parenthood, right? um and maybe you're not in a committed relationship or there's no one necessarily in your life, but you do have a male friend and you're a woman, and that male friend may be available and willing to give you his nut. So that's what happened here. Her male friend, who is clearly gay, decided to go half on a baby with her. Half on a baby. Hold on. I hear that there is a viral video of Kells, the Pied Piper himself, singing his heart out while in prison. There we go. Okay, I found it. Look at Twitter. Twitter's just everything. Just look. I know he's canceled. I get it, and I've been privy to new information about him that is very disturbing. But one thing for certain, he could sing. And when I hear an R. Kelly song, I'm gonna play it or I'm gonna sing to it. It's just nostalgic. It brings me good memories. So it's nothing to do with supporting the predatory shit that he did, and the sick behavior that he has demonstrated. It's just what it means to me is totally apart from that. Anyway, I don't have to explain that. But let's go ahead and listen to this clip that I've heard people talk about. Well, I heard the Joe Budden podcast talk about it. So I want to hear it myself. So let's go ahead. Like, that is insane. How are you? R. Kelly is an old motherfucker. How old is he? He is 57 year. Oh my gosh, he's 57. Sometimes people think, you just stop growing. Of course he's 57, right? But anyway, he is 57 years old and he sound literally the same as he did when he first came out with that song. So that's very impressive. And it looked like he wasn't even necessarily performing. He just looked like he was putting away his clothes and this song was on his spirit. Let's just hear it again. That's My mind's telling me no, but my body's telling me yes. I don't want to hurt nobody, but there is something that I must confess. It kind of it makes me sad too. Just the reality of everything regarding his current condition, right? And the fact that he's a sick motherfucker. That's just what it is. But anyway, God bless. But I bring that up because why did I bring that up? I don't remember. Nonetheless, Kaylani is in a sex club, not club, a cult. And her child's father is wanting full custody of their child because he believes his child is in danger, that there is some mischievous acts going on and is making him uncomfortable and he's not for that. So he is filing a claim against her and is doing all that he can to retrieve his child fully. There's a lot of theories coming out about this because apparently she did a performance recently and showed her support for Palestine. And the media wants you to support Israel primarily or only and not give support to Palestine. And I think because of this, she's getting this poor press. That could be it. Or he could be telling the truth. Or there's more to it. He was a part of the cult with her. And I guess they had a falling out, or he's no longer on her payroll and he's trying to diminish her as best as he can. Allegedly, this is a big cult. This is allegedly the Ifa cult that is known in Nigeria. Maybe because I was listening to somewhere in the Western, so it's a Yoruba tradition or religion, and just like with any religion, same with Christianity. So I don't want to just make it seem like I'm dogpiling black centered or black populated religions. I know that is the common thing to do. I get that. So I want to be sensitive here, especially as someone who does not necessarily subscribe to the westernized way of worshiping. So I respect different styles of worship. I do, especially at my age now. I've learned to recognize that we've been told fabricated truths and it's affecting how we perceive Jesus and God and relationship with him and all of that. Anyway, so I respect I respect different religions. It's totally fine. Anyway, so the Ifa religion is based in Western Africa and is practiced by Yoruba communities and the African diaspora in the Americas and the Caribbean. Just like with any religion, there are sectors within that religion that are extreme. These sectors may be for the good of that religion, and some may be for the bad, right? So some may use their belief system as a way to terrorize, corrupt humanity. As for the other sector, it may be used to uplift and inspire, the good. There's always a good and a bad. So allegedly, Kalani, SZA, Summer Walker, that Victoria Monet, I heard about her too. Shout out to Tasha K, because I was watching her show and she mentioned them, and the way that she speaks, it's like, okay, I believe you, girl. It's like, okay, yeah, I can believe you. But look, I haven't been there. This is all alleged. Everything I say here is for entertainment purposes. So please don't take what I say as fact. This is here for your entertainment. But I believe this shit. This is my opinion and it's factual. But yeah, allegedly they're in this cult and it's based in Ifa. And I believe it. I look at how they look. Look at how they look. Kaylani has always looked a little off to me. A little just like just like very free for all, very, very much how I feel, what I want to do. I just thought she was purely lesbian. So for her to have decided, and yes, of course, lesbians can be mothers, yada yada yada, but like, come on. I mean, come on. Hello? I really did not predict her wanting to become a mother. So, anyway, nonetheless, she is one and she may lose her child. She may lose at least full custody of her child. We'll see how this goes, but this is something that I will follow loosely. The content creators who I tune into regularly, if they continue to talk about this topic, then that is how I will stay abreast with it, because it's not something that you could read on an article. I'm realizing, like, typically I find my news on TikTok, and there wasn't much like credible quote unquote sources to find that. And I'm looking online through Google. Let's see if there's anything here. But like, there we go. Okay, I found something. Because some topics aren't available on mainstream media. You have to find it through sectors. You have to find it through Reddit, Twitter, and other people's content videos. But I found this article just now. So this is from People magazine. The title of this article is Kaylani's ex, Javon Young White. Mind you, this is, let me show y'all in case you don't know what I mean from what I said earlier. This is not the guy you would think is solely into her, okay? This is her ex. Cut it out. This is someone who she decided to have a child with. This was not her ex. Let's cut this shit. This was her heterosexual boyfriend. All right. Anyway, their child's already 5. I thought this was a younger child. I mean, still young, but anyway, so her ex, quote unquote, is claiming she is in a cult and he is filing or has filed for full custody of their 5-year-old daughter. And there are court documents that he has submitted. What else it says here? He says here their daughter was born through a home birth orchestrated by what I would describe as a cult that she belongs in. He writes that due to the fact that their daughter was born in a home and not in a conventional setting like a hospital, his name is not on her birth certificate. That's weird. So if you're not born in a hospital, there is no birth certificate to be given or written out for you? What? I never knew about that. That's weird. A representative for them did not respond. Let's see what else. He alleges that he's requested his name to be added to the birth certificate for 5 years now, but still it has not been done. When she was born, though, when their daughter was born, was he not there? Am I missing something? Because how is this still an ongoing thing? Did they not have a kind, amicable relationship? Let's see. He also claims that Kaylani won't give him their daughter's social security number and says that he's not even sure if their daughter has one. He alleges in the document that the group controls Kaylani's actions and their behavior, including when it comes to the upbringing of their daughter. So he really believes that she is a part of this cult. And whatever that cult is, let's see if they get into that more. But he says the cult is so influential for her and is controlling her moves with her child and the upbringing of their child, that it is affecting his relationship with her. He has no access to her social security number, no access to him being on her birth certificate. He probably doesn't even know if she has a social security number. Let's see. He alleges that the cult leader convinced Kaylani that he was a danger to their daughter and that he would kill her. Oops, sorry. Maybe I shouldn't have said that, but hopefully that doesn't get picked up too much. Convincing the singer to block him from seeing her for several months. And that's the thing with cults. From what I've watched online, or just like in general, online, on TV, of different cults, they would do that. They would purposely create narratives that are false to steer you away from the people who knew you prior to them. So they would make you believe these false truths and say, hey, I know what happened to you when you were younger. And literally nothing happened to you when you were younger. But because you are so hypnotized by this cult and the cult leader and the charisma and the love and the freeness and the non-judgmental environment, you believe them somehow. Somehow you are convinced that, yeah, they do know what happened to you when you were 8. When you know your life, but they will paint it as, no, you suppressed this memory. You forgot it because it was so traumatizing for you. But I'm bringing this up again because that parent who did that to you, or that parent who let that happen and didn't protect you, you need to block him or her from your life. You need to block him or her. Like, you need to block your dad. You need to block your mom. He also alleges that the cult leader has numerous accusations of committing SA against women and young adults. He alleges the singer will leave their daughter with random strangers who are also members of the cult, including the leader. He also claims in filing that when their daughter is left with other people, she's allowed to sleep in a bed with them and is given a bath by other random strangers in the cult. He also alleges that Kaylani lets a member of the cult they call Messiah, she's an adult woman, take baths with their daughter while the woman is under the influence of psychedelic drugs. He also alleges that while he's trying to bring up his concerns with Kaylani, the musician hasn't listened and instead disparages him online to their social media following. He's asking the court to establish his paternity so he may exercise all his rights as the father to their daughter. And he's requesting child support. That's the last sentence there. But I mean, there we have it. That's for the most part. There's a few more paragraphs here. Let's see. We just focus on being a team. Honest. Oh yeah. Okay. So this is now right here. They're giving you a backstory of them. She says here, so back in 2021, she talked about her little family. At that time, their daughter was 2 years old. And she says here And by she, I'm talking about Kaylani. Kaylani says, I have a 2-year-old daughter. She's the best. Me and her dad are like really, really close friends. Exactly. Ain't nobody talking about ex. Wasn't no ex here. It was just a friend who happened to be available and willing and able to give her his nut. And the decision to start a family was really easy for us because we both believed in each other's ability to be good parents. Kaylani uses she, they pronouns and identifies as queer at the time. I don't know if this has changed, but clearly she is. We just focus on being a team, honestly. And when I was able to tell him I've come to newer terms with my sexuality, and he's super, super, super supportive. End quote. There we have it. 2 queers having a baby together. And this is the result. I mean, what? God bless. They said it. I didn't say anything. They said it. Ooh, look at my thing popping out. My little, how you call that? Hairpin. Okay, well, God bless. I hope the daughter is in a safe environment and whatever needs to be done, hopefully gets done, because that is terrifying. But you know, cults are of the norm. Like, people think cults are not out here. Cults are out here. People like to find alternative ways to live their life and live life with other people who identify with that. So that's the route that she takes. I mean, let's not talk about sex being a quote unquote bad thing. I mean, obviously, of course, no one should be traumatized or coerced into anything. But I think the language here is interesting because it's like, oh, she's in a sex cult. So it's like, okay, but you had sex with her to have this child. Like, let's not act like sex is like always this bad thing. So now the environment of the child, I mean, look, I don't, obviously she should not be in an environment that is corrupt. And by corrupt, I mean, I don't think it's appropriate for a child to be around people who are just like pornographic around her. So let's assume that is hopefully not happening. But like, I don't know. The point is, sometimes we give cults a bad rap. Or sometimes, like, if we don't understand something, we're quick to demonize it. We're quick to find fault in it. And it's not necessarily not warranted, but there are times when it is, and there are times when it's not. In this case with Kaylani, it does look a little from what he's saying, but I'm just trying to understand, how does he know all the details about what's going on, yet it seems like he's not a part of the child's life, or that he's blocked from their life. So I'm really curious to know, how does he know all of this, right? Like, how does he know their daughter is allegedly getting baths by random strangers? Or how does he know that it is a sex cult? Like, how does he know that? My assumption is he was a part of it. My assumption is he was a part of the cult. They were all in on it together. SZA, Summer Walker, all of them. Dirty ass is just in there together. They all they look musty. They look musty. Summer Walker, I remember when I discovered her and I signed her to my label. I remember when I discovered her years ago. And I was like, oh my God, I love her songs. I love her voice. But I didn't know how she looked. She just kept popping up in my like playlist. I'm like, I love this Summer Walker girl. I love her. And and then even like when her cover art will appear, you couldn't really see her fully. So I truly didn't know how she looked. Then after a while, she was showing herself more, and I would see her pop up on social media streets. And I was like, oh, I wish I continued to not knew how she looked. She just looks so musty. Just like her lips look like it's always chapped, or You know that smell that comes on your lips when you're always licking your lips? There's a smell. I don't know what type of smell that is, but y'all know what I'm talking about. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. There's a smell when you're always licking your lips. There's a smell to that. She looks like that smell. And like the tattoos, the just it should just look washed. Like it's just like, dang. But such a beautiful voice. She just looks so musty. And this goes for SZA also. This goes for all of them. Not Victoria Monet, but I could see her being part of it too. Shoot, add Tiana Taylor in that too. Just that whole group is like, guy, God bless. Yes, I'm saying this in a moo. Yes, because I'm dope and I wash my armpits. So what's up? What's up? Hello? Okay, so next topic. Let's talk about This Ends With Us. I read the book. I read the book first. I still haven't watched the movie yet. I will watch it. It's on my list. I have a couple of things I want to watch. I want to watch This Ends With Us, Trap, and Long Legs. And I think I may want to watch this movie called Skincare. Most of it is suspense thriller, but This Ends With Us is a not rom-com necessarily, but it's a drama. It's a drama. What's interesting about This Ends With Us is the trailer of the movie doesn't give you much of what the movie's about. All you see is Blake Lively, who many people know, and she is the main character, and she seems to be smitten and swept away by this handsome gentleman, and everything just like phew, phew, like it's like, ooh, next scene. And you probably think, ooh, Blake Lively, oh, she's so pretty. Let me watch this movie. It's gonna be a cute rom-com type of movie. And then you watch the movie and you're like, wait, abuse? Wait, domestic violence? Huh? I didn't expect that. That's what happens when you don't read the book first. That's what happens when you don't read the book first. Read the book. Colleen Hoover's probably laughing at y'all. Like, what? Y'all thought this was a happy couple, lighthearted movie? Your thoughts. When I was reading the book, y'all, it started off just like that, right? It started off like a nice, like, oh, she find this cute guy. They're smitten with each other. They have nice, good sex. It's a good time. And then boom, he smacks upside her head. And I'm like, as I literally, when the first moment of the domestic violence happened in the book, I literally had to reread it. I had to go back a few sentences, and I'm like, I don't know if I read that correctly. Let me go back again. Yeah, no. There's DV, and this trigger warning for whoever is triggered by this. And I know domestic violence is sensitive. Don't get me wrong. I've witnessed this. This is close to heart, but entertainment is entertainment, right? So let's stop acting like I can't take it. Like, shut up. People watch murder docs all day long, but you can't watch a fictional movie of Blake Lively getting her head popped off by her husband. Like, come on, that's a Tuesday. Anyway, this topic is a topic because there's a backlash against this movie because the trailer is not what you expect the movie to be about. And again, if you haven't read the book, then you would have been bamboozled also. So it's just so funny to me how people are like up in arms. Like, y'all didn't read the book. Read the book first. Sorry, my nose is itchy. I'm not doing crack, y'all. But anyway, read the book first, and then you know what. Then you know what would have happened. Anyway, nonetheless, the book was interesting. I do plan on reading the second one. It's just been on my list. My book club didn't really want to read it, so I didn't continue as a book club, but I'll just read it independently. But yeah, it's some regular shit. Like, let's stop acting like no one's ever seen domestic violence. People trying to act like, oh, well, this should have been a trigger warning, or the lightheartedness. Like, Blake Lively should have carefully described this movie to the sensitivity of the top. Stop it. Cut it out. She's acting a role. Is she trying to tell you guys it's good to be in an abusive relationship? No, she's acting a character in a movie. Like, it's not this thing that you have to be all up in arms about. I came across someone on Instagram talking about, she gave a whole 4 series post monologue of, oh, if you're triggered, you're valid to feel these feelings about this movie. And girl, what? Read the book first. You did yourself a disservice. Like, what are we talking about? This is dumb. Anyway, I'm gonna watch it and it's gonna be fine. Relax. No one's trying to condition you to think that it's okay to be abused. No, cut it out. What? These are the same women who will watch a murder doc all day long, but oh, you're so triggered by a fictional story played by people who play characters for a living. Look, cut it out. All right, let's talk about Black gatekeepers who are influencing the masses to vote for Kamala. And I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it. There is this clip of Steve Harvey chastising the public because, oh, how dare Black people hold Kamala to the carpet, requesting or demanding her to have something for Black people, for the betterment of Black people. He said this wild statement recently. I guess he had this conference, this forum. Let's go take a look.
Trying to stay on course, so just let me go off this paper for a minute. Before y'all start calling my radio show and DMing me, talking about why you ain't asked no hard-hitting questions, that ain't what this is. I'm throwing a...
Why? Why is it not? Why is that not what it is? What is that? That doesn't make any sense to me. This is a woman, this is a candidate for the seat of the office, the Oval Office. And you're not taking this opportunity to ask the hard-hitting questions. Oh, instead you're going to ask her, what do you eat on a Sunday night? People be like, why am I seeing videos of Kamala Harris cooking with that girl from The Office talking about an Indian dish? Nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck. I don't give a fuck. Kamala, what is your policy? Make it plain. And what are you doing for Black people? Yes, I want to know. Make it plain. Because there's a video of you not too long ago laughing at just the gall of people, of Black people, requesting you to have a bill or something specific for Black people. Because, oh, there are other demographics who have specific bills and policies for their betterment. The LGBTQ plus community, The Asian community, the Native Americans, they all have specific bills for their betterment in America. Yet, Black people, we still don't have anything specific for us. And sure, affirmative action, you could say that. But nonetheless, let's talk about reparations some more and let's make this a mandate. But Steve Harvey talking about, oh, this is not what this is. So what do you have Kamala here for?
This is an alley-oop for a dunk, because this administration needs to get the word out of what they're actually doing and what they're actually accomplishing, so we can stop all this foolishness about what you're doing for Black people.
But why is that foolish? Isn't that wild to me? Isn't that wild? It's foolish to demand, call you to the carpet and say, you need to represent us, right? You want to come across now as solely a Black woman, because before you were solely Indian. But now you want to come across, Kamala, as this sister girl. I'm an AKA. I went to HBCU. Hey, I'm Black. Okay. So what are you doing for Black people? Hello? Can you speak to that? It's wild to me. How is that foolish, Steve Harvey?
Why to come out with no agenda and call it this for Black people and expect to get in the White House? You got to play the game different. Y'all know.
When is that ever happening correctly? They say this every 8 years, talking about play the game, just get in the house first. Okay, they've gotten in the house. What has been done different? You have to shake the table. Damn, I hate to agree with Amanda Seales, but god dang, that bitch is right. The bitch is right. People get so caught up in the, oh well, this is not the time right now. We just have to focus on getting Kamala in the office and anything but Trump. How is that at all helpful? Y'all swear the sky is falling. You swear the chickens are just falling from the sky, coming home to roost. Huh? Hey.
I don't know what this is. So now this next question is another law for Honey Dunk. Because they done a lot, man. But we see, I'm on this radio show and I'm hearing all these people talk about, I'm not voting if they're not doing nothing for us. Listen to me. If you do not vote, the analytics will show. They know how many women vote, they know the age you are when you vote. If we don't vote, how we gonna ask for something next time? If you ain't got no vote.
Shut up. He's not so fucking dumb. Why the fuck am I even asking for anything anymore? How am I gonna ask for something next time? If we don't play by the balls today, how am I gonna get a camel? Sir?
Voting power. You talking about reparations. Ain't nobody finna give you no reparations and you don't vote. Why you think they finna give us some money? No how, man. I hope they do. They owe us. I go down there.
They owe us. Steve Harvey. Hold on. How Steve Harvey is worth net worth? This nigga is worth $200 million. If this nigga don't shut, and I just want y'all to remember that when these particular people who are demanding you to vote blue no matter who, to vote for Kamala Harris, what do they get out of it? They get more money. The more times they use their huge platform to influence us little people to follow their stupid ass agenda, it's for their financial benefit. It's not for us. They're not for us. They're not like us. They're really not. It's for their betterment. Because they're probably voting for Jill Stein. right? They're not even voting red or blue. They're voting for independence. Jill Stein, what was that girl? Marianne Williamson. Like they're voting for anybody else. They're probably not even voting. And at this point, obviously vote for who you want to vote for. But the point is, these people who are doing everything they can to chastise us, to make us feel foolish for asking necessary questions to Kamala Harris, holding her to the carpet. These are the same people who are like, it doesn't matter which way it goes for them. They get a check every time they follow this bullshit agenda. They get a check every time they get a check. Every time. I promise you, this is no coincidence. Anyway, this is not the only one. Hold on, I have more. Ricky Smiley is doing the same thing. Let's talk about Ricky Smiley's ass. Okay, the one who Cat Williams called out. One of the ones who he called out from his interview with Shannon Sharp.
Just sick of the black people on the internet talking about I'm not with her. Okay, so if you're not with her, that means you with Trump.
Yes. Yeah. Where do I get a MAGA hat? Hold on, let me see if I can find one real quick. JK, but yeah. Okay, so what? Because either way you spin it, y'all, voting for Kamala Harris does not mean you're more for black people. Because what exactly is she doing for black people that will make you believe that? Oh, you're voting for her because she looks like one of your daughters? You're voting for her because, oh, she went to HBCU. You went to HBCU? What does that mean, though? What does that do for anything? What does that do for you?
Y'all need to block every last one of their asses on Facebook.
Block me. Go ahead, block me.
And on Instagram and social media and stop. Like, that's just garbage. Yeah. It's just garbage.
Everybody got to find on anything.
Yeah. Can't agree on a damn bucket of chicken. One person want a hot dog.
I always complain.
Black folks get on my damn nerves, man. Why everybody making all these celebrities making all these videos going off on Kamala Harris and stuff, and then the black men, Kamala Harris didn't prosecute you and treated you bad in court. I got treated bad in court too, but I'm with her because a vote for her. If you sit at home and you don't support her, you're definitely supporting Donald Trump. You can vote for who you want to, but don't be trying to encourage other people.
But what are you doing right now, though? You can vote for who you want to, but don't be trying to encourage. So what are you doing right now? You're chastising the black community who dares to say, hey, maybe I'm not all the way for Kamala Harris because of X, Y, and Z. Maybe her track history doesn't show me that she is for the betterment, that she is for the uplifting of this community. So that's what?
And sit up there and put bad stuff. Where's that same energy for Donald Trump?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm saying?
I'm just like, don't vote for him. It is what it is.
Y'all not even out here doing real research to look at her record. If you do the research or whatever, stop believing everything you read and do real research, you can see what a record is. You can see what she have done. I think you can Google what have Kamala Harris done for the black community or things that black people benefit from a lot. We need to stand with her. Yes. We need to stand with her.
And this whole, apparently the prosecuting history that has been called to the carpet. I've been saying that the whole episode. I've noticed. People are trying to say, oh, that's not true. No, it is. It is. How convenient is not true all of a sudden? It's just not, y'all just say, oh, it's not true, so it's not true. No, it is. Parents got put to jail because of whatever reason they couldn't send their child to school. Do you agree for parents being jailed for that? I don't necessarily agree to that. I don't.
She's great. She will make a great president. And what a blessing to be living.
What up? I can't. I'm gonna get irritated, y'all. I'll stop it here. If you want to listen to the rest, find it on Twitter. You can find it on X, formerly known as Twitter, and get mad. Get mad by yourself. I don't want to get mad. It's just so infuriating, honestly. And I feel sorry for people who really are so convinced by these people, by these gatekeepers. They just believe whatever they say because of their profound influence. So, child, God bless, and it's MAGA all day. All right. Okay, can we talk about this is another one. Okay, so Dr. Umar recently came on video talking about the Harris team, Kamala Harris's team, offered to pay him $10K to have a sit down with him to like have him promote Kamala Harris. Let's go ahead and see what he's saying here because I am intrigued. So I will be playing this at the same time with y'all, watching it at the same time with y'all. So this will be a first review. He's already screaming, child. Hold on. Let me bring it back.
Black vote ain't for sale no more. Black vote ain't for sale. We bartering on business. We standing on business. Bring us some tangibles or get out of my face. Ricky Smiley, I love you. But crying on the radio for Kamala Harris, my brother, that's an all-time low. Don't do that again, Ricky Smiley. Don't you get on your radio show and cry for Kamala. Don't you do that, my brother.
Not Kamala.
If you want to cry for Kamala Harris, you do that in the privacy of your house. But if we're going to be honest, Steve Harvey and Ricky Smiley, and I love you both, no hate to my big brothers. But if we're going to be honest, Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey, y'all only carried on because y'all got paid to carry on.
Say it again, Dr. Umar. Bring it back.
Got paid to carry on. Carried on because y'all got paid to carry on.
Hallelujah.
Can we please be honest? Can we see? I want y'all to understand, overstand, and understand what King Kong is talking about. Y'all carried on because y'all got paid to carry on. Kamala Harris and the Democratic plantation is paying you celebrities, paying you to shame black people into voting. Y'all know we not going to get nothing out of that vote. Y'all know we not going to get nothing out of that vote. Y'all know we not going to get nothing out of the vote, but they being paid. Y'all being bought. They offer me $10K for an interview with Kamala Harris. I don't want your money, but we can definitely do the interview.
Woo! You heard that? $10K. Now, I'm thinking, let's talk about Travis Smiley. What? Ricky Smiley. How much did he get offered? Because he makes, like, he's not, hold on. Ricky Smiley net worth. 2.5 million. Now look, this is just the net worth, right? I don't know, and this is not necessarily actual news, right? So I don't know what's in their bank account. And oftentimes people who are of a certain caliber with their finances, they don't necessarily have that money easily and readily available. It's already spent, it's already tied up, their credit's already mixed with X, Y, and Z, right? So they may have made a net worth of 2.5 million in the last 3 years, but that may not be currently what they have ready available in their bank account. You see what I mean? So they may have 700,000 right now. And I'm saying all this to say, this is just another example of how you can never have enough, right? Because, what does someone who is worth 2.5 million or 200 million, like Steve Harvey, what would this this compromised take of theirs really be worth, right? Like what does it mean for them to be offered money by the Kamala Harris team for them to push out this propaganda? It means these people who are rich, they're not really banking like that. They're not really rich like you would think. They have their money tied up. Their money management is not the greatest. And they're probably in need of more money. And they probably already have a lack mindset. So they feel like, okay, well, I have to keep the money flowing. I have to keep the money flowing. And I have this business deal happening here, or I have this expense happening here, or, I have an investment that didn't pull through. And I'll say yes to whatever I need to do to make sure I have a guaranteed check hitting my account. So I say all this to say people aren't ever comfortable, even if their net worth is at least 2.5 million. So it takes a lot of integrity for someone like Dr. Umar, who may not be at the same bracket as a Ricky Smiley or Steve Harvey, but for him to deny the possibility of getting 10K, that says a lot. And I fuck with that. So let's continue.
They offer me 10K for an interview with Kamala Harris. Yes, we can do the interview. Keep your damn money. King Kong consciousness ain't for sale. I'm one of the real ones. Silverback Garvey Gorilla. I'm one of the real ones. Silverback Garvey Gorilla. Don't come to me with no propositions for money. I don't live for no money. I'm not one of these goofy ass rappers.
Say that.
Whose whole life is nothing but what you can buy and own. You dealing with real African DNA. This is real ancestral energy over here. I'm not no Ricky Smiley and Steve Harvey. You don't drop no check off and say, get the Negroes to the plantation on November the 4th. You don't drop no check off and say, get the Negroes to the plantation.
First of all, where is he talking? Because is he at a college campus? There's something going on in the background. The lights in this video looks like he's at a student council center. But anyway, I fucks with what he's saying, and I'm about to donate to his school right now. Hold on. FDMG is coming. It's coming. Shout out to that guy. I forgot his name, but that video is so funny. But no, dead ass. Come on. Anyway, this is an Australian breakdancer who is getting heat for her break dancing moves at the Olympics. Her name is Raygun. Yeah, Raygun. Interesting spelling. Anyway, she's allegedly is the best best break dancer out of Australia, and was able to apply to perform at the Olympics. I don't know how the process goes, but nonetheless, she showed her ass. A lot of people were just up in arms with her performance, thought this was a joke, and she was dead ass. She actually has, or she's about to finish up her PhD, so she's a candidate for her PhD, and this was a part of the dissertation, the process of it all. Nonetheless, she is telling y'all to leave her alone.
Hi everyone, Raygun here. I just want to start by thanking all the people who have supported me. I really appreciate the positivity, and I'm glad I was able to bring some joy into your lives. That's what I hoped. I didn't realize that would also open the door to so much hate, which has frankly been pretty devastating. Well, I went out there and I had fun. I did take it very seriously. I worked my butt off preparing for the Olympics, and I gave my all.
And first of all, who knew you could break dance in the Olympics. Like, I didn't know that was a thing you do at the Olympics. What? And for her to be this white woman from Australia doing it, it's just like even more laughable because it's like, what? Where's the black break dancers? Did we not get the memo that this was allowed at the Olympics? I'd never heard this to be a thing at the Olympics. I'd never heard of it.
Truly. I'm honoured to have been a part of the Australian Olympic team and to be part of breaking's Olympic debut.
Oh, that's why I haven't heard. It's the debut. And this is what they did. Apparently, this was so bad that they will not return with the breakdancing segment at the Olympics anymore. Like, this was one and done. This was the inaugural and the final.
What the other athletes have achieved has just been phenomenal. In regards to the allegations and misinformation floating around, I'd like to ask everyone to please refer to the recent statement made by the AOC, as well as the posts on the Ozbreaking Instagram page, as well as the WDSF Breaking for Gold page.
Okay, we're done. Anyway, she was break dancing and broke it. Okay, let's see if I can play a quick video. Hopefully, you don't give me an issue on someone put this on the back of their Jeep. This is too I don't know how to describe it to y'all. Just make sure you're watching this on YouTube so you see what I'm saying. Okay, there we go. This is it right here. I'm not gonna play the sound because I feel like it might be an issue. But if y'all could see, she's break dancing, she's doing a bunny hop, she is like sliding. It just looks kind of hilarious. And mind you, I'm not a break dancer, right? I don't think I've ever shared that with you guys. Just to be clear, I'm not a break dancer, so I'm ignorant to certain moves. But there are things I've seen, maybe not in real. No, I've seen some break dancing in real life, and some of them I've seen, like, some of them are real moves, don't get me wrong, but I think the way that she's doing it, as you can see here, it just looks like someone imposing. Like, she looks like an imposter. It just looks like a joke. It really does. The bunny hop is just hilarious to me right here. And I just find it to be so disturbing because for this to be the debut and for her to be the one debuting it, like, was there no one else? She was the only break dancer available? And why she had to be from Australia? Like, where was the black people? Did we not get the memo? This originates with us. So for her to usurp this and for it to go so horribly that the Olympics will no longer continue this, from what I'm hearing, and maybe that will change in however long it takes for the Olympics to return. It's like 8 years. It feels like a conspiracy. It feels like this was conspired to ensure black people don't get the shine that they deserve. But anyway, God bless, child. Ooh, let me stop. There we go. But God bless. There we have it. All right, to end it off, Simone Biles' mother wants to have her back in her life. For those who may not know, Simone Biles' mother abandoned her at a young age due to her addiction to drugs. And she is begging for her daughter to forgive her after decades long of estrangement. So decades is a long time. Decades, not even like, oh, she said 1 decade, which is still long. But the fact that it's a decades situation, like it's more than one, that's pretty much a hard pill to swallow here. Let's see here. So this woman, her name is Shannon. She's 52 years old. She said that she lives in hope for the day Simone reaches out so she can ask her daughter for forgiveness for the past she cannot change after her drug addiction led to her to abandon her children. She said, quote, "It was hard to give up my kids, but I had to do what I had to do. I wasn't able to care for them. I was still using, and my father didn't want me coming in and out of their lives when I wasn't right." She said she would like to make amends with Simone personally, and she's just waiting for her and her daughter, her other daughter. So Simone has a little sister. She's waiting for both of them to reach out to her. She says she speaks to Audria, which is Simone Biles' sister, more than she does to Simone. I would just ask her to forgive me. Can we move forward? Don't judge me on my past. Let's move forward. Pretty sad. So Simone Biles is 27 years old. Her mom is 52. Just to give that context there. I mean, this is a personal choice. I don't necessarily think it's a good or bad thing for her to decide to open that door for her mother to come on back into her life. Just like with anything, especially so sensitive as drug addiction, it takes boundaries, it takes time, it takes trust, it takes patience, and it takes just a willingness to hopefully see a change in the mom. I hope she really did kick this drug addiction and she really is free and her life is much better from it. It's an addiction. I think what's so easy for people to do is judge from the outside in and say, oh, well, she's doing this because Simone Biles, she won so many medals and she just performed her ass off at the Olympics, and of course her mom wants to be back in her life. Of course she probably just wants money. It's like Simone Biles has been that girl for quite some time. She's been that girl for quite some time. So I don't think it's like something that is convenient. I think just like with anything, whenever someone is back in the limelight, they like to find opportunities to talk to whoever else is in that person's life. And I think this was an opportunity that someone reached out to Simone Biles' mom, and Simone Biles' mom said this. I don't think this was necessarily a convenient thing for her to say this only because of Simone Biles' wins. I don't get that impression, and I could be wrong. I mean, no one knows necessarily except for Simone Biles and her mom. But I think it's important for us to be mindful of the fact that drug addiction is real. This is not something that is exclusive to some people. And it is also real that people do kick the habit. People do kick the addiction and have been sober for 20, 30, 40. Like there are people who get better. And I think if you are living your life better and you have chosen to really kick this habit and this addiction and you've done well for yourself, I think you should be given the opportunity at least to repair relationships in your life. Now, obviously, she doesn't have to care for her daughter in the sense of being her daughter's caretaker. Now that her daughter is grown, she's married, she's fine, she's well. But to completely say, no, don't talk to your mom ever again, I don't know if that is the right answer either. So anyway, God bless. I think that's pretty sad, and I'm sure there's a lot of hurt wounds and just pain from that, but hopefully there's some healing that could come in place of this. All right, ladies and gents, thank you so much for tuning in. We're going to end it here. I appreciate your support. Make sure you are liking this video on YouTube. You are subscribed on all the platforms. That includes Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Make sure you are also following Built Like This Podcast on Instagram. And that's about it, y'all. I will check in with y'all next time. Peace.